All right, gentlemen. Last week, you guys had done some more searching into events that you were given a quest on, and you're determining where you want to go this week. Any other points of interest that you really remember from last week?
I think we'd kind of settled on the plan of talking to the Shields and trying to find out what happened 10 years ago and find out where to raid some goblins, because we want to bash some goblin heads in.
Yo.
All right, so that's where we'll pick up this week. You guys heading to the headquarters of the Shield to talk to him, or where were you headed?
We got blown off and we
I
talked.
believe that was the plan.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rio's gonna avoid the headquarters. She'll wait at a nearby bar. After all, she's got a huge hangover.
Yeah, she does. That's right.
So she's hanging out at the bar. The rest of you head off to the location of the headquarters. Seems like a normal day. You guys arrive at the front, and you're able to go in. Any other last minute things you guys want to do before you head in?
Hey, you guys want to talk, like, ask for the head, or how do you want to handle this?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are they going to laugh at us if we ask for the head of the shield?
No
But we
idea.
can't see the Baron either, so maybe he's more accessible than the others, but I don't know.
Don't know until we find out.
We also have the part going for us that we already have weapons when it requires a license to have them. So
To purchase them.
to purchase them. Well,
I know for sure.
right.
So, no ideas? You want me to just go in there and start talking? Because you know that's probably not going to go well.
It should go well.
I want you to do something.
All right, we're going in.
Let's go in and at whatever the reception area is, just outright ask, about the goblin raids of 10 years ago.
Okay.
Let's see where that leads us.
We go in.
Plenty of people around. They're all doing different things. Who do you want to go talk to?
Plenty of people around. Describe a few.
Well, very similar to last time. There's a number of side rooms that have activities going on. You see people coming and going out of a few of them. You have, looks like a trial of some sort potentially going on in the back. The doors are shut. 2 guards posted.
Do any of these shield bearers have how to phrase this? Look young and inexperienced. Does it look like there's a new recruit around?
Most
doesn't
of them
quite
there
look-
look pretty similar. It doesn't look like they necessarily keep their recruits in this area.
Okay.
Since you've had run-ins with the law, you kind of are used to picking them out.
So no one looks like they're not quite sure of themselves yet.
No, everyone here seems to be more experienced individuals of the command.
Darn, I was hoping for a looser tongue.
I go up to someone at a desk nearby.
Yes.
Excuse me, sir. We're looking for someone who can talk to us about the goblin raids of 10 years ago.
There was no raid. We defeated them. And if you want history, you should talk with the historians.
Huh. That's a great idea. Where are the historians?
In the archive.
Sorry, where's the archive?
The building just up the street that says archive on it.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, have a good day.
You too?
Okay. Guys, should we go to the archive?
I think that was a strong hint.
Yes. We leave and head up the street to the archive.
Cleox shrugs and just follows them.
Dum da dum dum dum.
You guys get to the archive.
Hey, let's hope they don't guard their knowledge as much as the elves do. Crazy people in their archives.
You never know.
We never know, that's right. Stroll on in. What do we see?
You see a bird humanoid individual who's sitting behind a desk, and that's pretty much it.
What kind of humanoid?
Bird.
Avian.
Bird. Avian.
How Aarakocra does it look?
Kind of owl.
Why am I not surprised? It's not the same snow owl.
Oh, it is.
It is?
It is.
Fair enough.
That's great.
I think you're up.
I don't actually know if he told me his name, and if he did, I didn't write it down. Because I'm bad at this stuff.
Always write names down.
I usually, well, that would be a lie. I thought I did, but I don't see it. At least not in the notes file that I have open.
I do not have his name either.
Well, I still walk up to him and say, "Hey, fancy meeting you again."
I just pinged it to you. It's Amonlit.
I don't remember that name at all. Actually.
That's because I never did ask
do?
him his name, but the name was there.
And I walk up to Amulet and say, wait, out of character, never mind. I thought it may have been a pun on omelet.
Nope, it was a random name. But that is a good one.
I go up to Amulet and say, hello again.
Greetings. What brings you to the archive this day?
We're actually curious about the history of the foiled goblin invasion.
Ah, you mean the last goblin incursion?
Yes.
Let's see, it happened 10-ish years ago, and all records indicate that the Shield were victorious, and it was an easy battle, and it was done. Pretty much it.
Can you point this out to...
Sure. Come this way. It brings you down rows and rows and rows of books and scrolls and cookies. With your love of books lately, you probably kind of have your mouth watering.
Wow.
Eventually get to this section, he's like, right here. Pulls out a book, flips it open. You see it's dated. The last goblin invasion is what it's labeled as, and it says, goblins attempted to attack us once more. A merchant by the name of sorry. Saini was headed to town. He saw them and was able to beat them here, warning the shield. The shield was able to march out and obliterate them.
What's the merchant's name?
Saini. Syne. And next to his name it has a marking. Died shortly after due to goblin poisoned arrow. So basically he got hit when he was fleeing and died of his wounds.
Oh. Well, just in case, I'll keep his name written down.
Oh, that name's important. Very important. Sorry, I'm typing. A merchant named Sene warned the shields. And the shields went out and defeated them. Excuse me, I'm a minute. How often have attacks occurred before this time, 10 years ago?
Take a look. Usually every few years.
Let's go back the last few and see.
As you're flipping through the book, you do see that there is numerous different levels of attacks. Sometimes they're small squabbles, sometimes they're, small prodding raids. Other times they're like, hordes of goblins. Kind of varies. But
And
it's never
of all
been,
the things I find,
it's never been
you're
a
gonna
pause
say.
for 10 years, ever.
What has the normal time frame been?
Within a few years. Like, the longest before this has been like 4 to 5 years.
It's still a significant amount of time.
It sure is. This pattern mathematically does not add up. Wisdom check. Math is wisdom, right?
I believe math is actually int, not wisdom.
It's your perception of things and understanding.
Int is deducing the connection between things, hence investigation, where wisdom is the, oh, that looks out of place. So since
Yeah,
you're
my
actually,
investigation is really low.
since you're trying to understand events, it would be more a int than a wisdom thing.
Anyone want to back me up? This seems really
If you're trying
odd.
to find that information in the book, that would have been a perception check. Or a wisdom check.
Actually, let's look at some of the other records. I want to see if there's anyone else mentioned by name in the records, like how these raids were reported or anything like that. That doesn't. Why doesn't it roll? There.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to find a number of times where people are named if they are responsible for beneficial events to the town, and a few of them where they're not, or it's, labeled as name stricken 306.
Are there any names that I can find that don't indicate person died?
Plenty of them.
So
But they're
guys,
older ones.
Hmm.
So, the last one was 10 years ago. That means the person's at least 15 years older than
Right.
what they were
But
at the time
anyone
they
we
did it.
found that were named would definitely be sympathetic to our cause.
Why do you say that?
Because they know about goblin raids, and they would be suspicious that one hasn't happened for this long. Maybe it's just me.
Or
Unless they're in on it.
Right.
Or that since there hasn't been one for 10 years and the shield so thoroughly destroyed the last big invasion, that maybe they think they're done.
Huh. Well, they'd want to think that, wouldn't they?
I
Hmm.
don't.
Depends on if they trust the shield or not. If you trust what you're told, absolutely, you're correct, Cleok. They would certainly be more inclined to that way. The only chance that you'd have where Cookie's option would be is if they didn't believe the powers that be in the first place, or didn't think them trustworthy or something. Which
Okay.
I don't know that you've met anyone of that sort in town.
We found a piece of information. A merchant's name. We should find out more about this merchant.
I want to look at the books and see if we can pinpoint the better location of where the locations of these battles or raids occurred.
It's been various directions, but mainly from the east.
Is it more? I know. Is it more specific than just to the east?
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to give. Is it like a named location or something there?
Roll a int check.
I'm not very good at those. That's a 9.
You're uncertain. Most of them, there's a map on the table, so you keep referencing that, and most of them are various locations to the east, but some of them just say, within miles of said landmark. But the quantity that you were able to find, the ones you found, the quantity were in favor of the east, in an area basically directly east of the town. And the range is usually closer than 25 miles, not further.
Okay.
It's still a large search area.
Indeed it is.
If only we had a ranger who could search that area, right?
Yes, if only we had a ranger who had some supernatural ability to find settlements within a mile of them.
Unfortunately, which character was the ranger that disappeared?
Oh yeah, the one that I thought was texted to see if he was showing up tonight.
Oh, right, that one.
Yeah.
I'd go back to Omelet.
Why is it always the Rangers that get lost?
Right. Yanovan,
You just don't keep up.
Did he reply, or you were able to get that message to him?
Nope. I got it to him. Didn't reply.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
So,
Cleok, you went back to Omelette?
yeah. I'm also curious about, the shields in general and the Baron. So, are there any manuscripts on that as well?
Nothing on the Baron? Except
Nothing.
for references of things he has provided or permitted to go on in town. Like he has thrown a few festivals and different, he usually has the winter festival he provides for. Trying to think, there's been a few events where it's, other nobles, he's, given them tokens or assisted with their burial or something like that, but there's really not a lot on the Baron.
And how long has the Baron been in power?
I don't know. because I don't know if he like has kids and his kids take over, if it's just him. But I know a baron, or the baron, a baron has ruled for hundreds of years.
All right. And what about the shield?
The shield is basically the hand of the baron. I don't know if any of them have ever met him or not. But they are basically enforce his will and make sure everyone in town follows the rules.
Any place we can see a list of, their major accomplishments over, let's say, the past couple of years?
They show up in various locations within the town's archives. Documentation like the book you already were looking at there. Just protecting and saving the town and rooting out the... They got rid of what was it? It was a were-rat thieves den or something, and some assassins group they purged from the town. Just various things glorifying their existence in town of all the wonderful things they've done.
Sorry, that's hilarious. Out of game. Where rat thieves den.
Actual
All right,
detail-
Salvador.
Actual details on what they have done, like more than that, would have to be in their own personal records, which they tend to not let anyone have access to.
Okay. Thank you.
Certainly. Anything else you need?
Out of curiosity, is there a festival coming up?
Let me look. Nah, that one's every 7 years, and that one's every 4, 3. No, not for a while. I mean, there's Harvest, but that's coming up in a few months.
I have a question. Is it common for merchants to keep their ledgers in a cipher?
Not unless they have something they need to, keep secret. I mean, some of them use a basic script if they're thinking there's someone gonna poke around at them. Most of them keep pretty basic ledgers, though. Then again, a lot of them don't have high understanding on writing, so they keep very basic ledgers.
Yeah. Well, you see, we're asking some strange questions here. We have a friend who showed us a ciphered ledger that indicated someone was supporting the Goblin King.
That's very odd.
And so here we are trying to talk about Goblin Kings, and the shields are like, there is no Goblin King. Have you heard of a Goblin King?
Nope. No record indicates anything on that.
Yeah, the only unusual thing is that there's been no goblin attack for 10 years.
Yep. As far as any of the records have.
Well, obviously it would have to be a merchant who would be clever enough to use ciphers. That's pretty funny. I hadn't thought of that.
When you're traveling the
Didn't he
market, you did see a few that seemed to be, actually intelligent, but then there's a lot of them that were farmers that were basically doing farmers market type thing, whether it was actual farmed goods or not. Some of them were, mineral goods and stuff, but a lot of them, the stalls were more basic. The actual shops had people who were more educated, shall we say.
Didn't our client say he bought this in a used bookstore?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did.
Was that in this town? I can't remember.
Yes.
The used bookstores in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go there.
So, do you know any used bookstores close by, sir?
We have one downstairs.
Oh, that would make sense.
There's, let's see, there's a general goods individual who will buy and sell almost anything on the northwest of town, and then there's the can't believe the guy worded his shop wrong. Pawned goods store. He actually mistyped it, and it's the pawned goods store on the southern side of town.
That's funny.
Cleoc would suggest going and talking to our client and finding out exactly which bookstore he bought it.
Dude, the guy falls asleep. I don't know that he could tell us which bookstore he bought it in.
What are you expecting to find in the bookstore?
At this point, we're still spinning our wheels. I don't think we have anything concrete yet. Still don't have anything concrete.
Okay. Out of combat, sorry.
Are you guys talking right in front of Amonlit still, or are you stepping away from him?
No, we need to step away.
I would step away from.
Guys, so it strikes me as a possibility that we could hire the Thieves Guild to find who keeps ciphered ledgers for us. They should be able to have a fairly short number if they check all of them and find out which ones have ciphered ledgers. And we could probably afford to pay what they would ask.
We could also probably get the ledger deciphered.
Okay. You want to try to get the ledger deciphered? We haven't tried that.
The owl might know. The owl seems to be a bookworm. We could also just go out there and fight some goblins.
But we need to find them first.
Yep.
Actually, Ryu has a really good idea here. We could probably go to the shields and say that, hey, I know it's been super quiet for 10 years, but could you point us to the exact location because we'd like to go and investigate for ourselves.
Just say we'd like to bash some goblin skulls.
Yeah. That ought to be able to get us the right location.
Yeah, or not.
Ryu, is this something you want or not?
Oh, Rio wants to bash some skulls no matter what. Ryan, as a player, is saying that it may not work, but we know the general direction out of town that they came from, and we could either get someone who's a tracker or get the shields to show us. Or we can look for a used bookstore to.
I don't like the used bookstore idea.
Okay,
I think
good.
that's fishing for something that we don't have much solid to go on. We have a name, and we could find out more about this merchant in particular.
Yeah, and actually, if you talk to Ryu and she was sober about what you've heard, she would probably say, "Well, sounds like that guy, the Baron, doesn't exist. He's a scam. He's either a front for some other organization or other group, or he's a goblin himself or something else. That there's something fishy about him. If nobody has seen him, he's a public political figure. People should see him all the time."
They should.
I'd agree.
Especially if he loves power.
Yeah, I asked those questions trying to see if there was something unusual about either the Shield's activities over the past few years or the Barons.
Yeah, but since also hearing that the Shield is the Baron's personal enforcers, we probably don't want to poke anything about that. And even going to them to deal with the goblins, if the Baron is the Goblin King, he probably doesn't want us going bashing up goblins.
How? It's a crazy idea. You said the Baron's estate was on a hill a couple of sessions ago, right? That I could find it. How? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I'm dead, a 1 being I could do it relatively safely, how good of a look could I get flying over it?
You could get a fairly good look, but you also notice that, you could get a fairly good look. You'd have to get close enough to see what's there to know what kind of threat it wouldn't be involved in it, but, you know, if you flew over it, you could get a pretty good view.
Probably an 8. Though we could probably ask the criminal organization if they know anything about it.
I
Of
don't
course, they might also be in league
that-
with the Baron.
Leok hates the idea of going to the criminal organization, but doesn't have any other better ideas.
They're just rebels if you think about it, right? They're fighting a corrupt lord who's probably a goblin. I mean, they're freedom fighters. They're heroes.
That remains to
can
be seen.
can I roll the deception on that?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to deceive some of us. Some of us are buying into that logic already.
Okay, so my deception check isn't going to work too well. I thought we got those ones out of there.
I guess I should roll my opposing insight to make absolutely sure I'm not being.
You have to beat a 6.
No.
Well, if I roll on that one, I would tie you.
Hi, you got a 3. Oh, you still beat me? Dang it.
I am actually trained in insight, so
Yeah, you're high wisdom.
yeah. So I'm just nodding along with the statement, like, yeah,
Yeah. Sure. So, what's the plan, gentlemen?
Well, we have one more
At this point,
potential route. Rio could be looking for a goblin skull for a collector. Then we just have to rely on a not 1 for his deception roll.
But it's so good at the ones.
Right?
Kind of like
Cle-
someone is in combat.
Cleok still wants more information before we go out and start looking for a goblin. He doesn't think, at this point, he doesn't think we'll get much information out of the shields for it. So he would begrudgingly be okay with trying to contact the underground as the last resort to try and get information.
It's not our last resort, though.
It's not. And I honestly think paying someone to find out which one of the merchants uses the particular cipher, as well as paying someone to decipher it for us, is not a bad route.
All right. Okay. So, I'm not. I mean, I think it may be possible to hire the thieves, but I'm not certain that that's a great plan of action. But I do think that practically speaking, if there is a Goblin King, we cannot challenge his forces.
Not without
Okay.
backup.
No.
The backup would be the point of going to the criminals, because they certainly want the Goblin King out.
There's
Well,
an
likely.
army here. The shields are an army. They're bigger than us. We got to assume that the goblins are an army too. Our goal is to pit one army against the other army.
Mm-hmm.
That's leverage. Now, therefore, the way to leverage it, the best way is to expose a plot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone
But you have to
disagree?
be. They have to actually believe the explosion of the. They have to actually believe that
Yes.
you're correct. It's kind of hard to do that with something like a ciphered ledger. You'd have to have really strong evidence.
Right. Well, the ciphered ledger leads us to who's the culprit, and then we would investigate him.
Right.
It just points us in the right direction.
Okay,
Do we have-
deciphering the ledger is a great idea, and investigating, I think we ought to at least ask around about this Sinate guy.
Yeah. Do we have a physical? Do we physically have the ledger, or is it still with the crazy guy?
Still with the crazy guys.
Crazy guy has it.
So getting help deciphering it is doable, but it's going to be a little harder because we're either going to have to get him to let go of the ledger or get that person to come talk to him.
Oh,
And they're
he can let go of it. We just never took
Well-
it from him.
He was willing to let us take it.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, we should find out about that from the DM, just because if we can take it and bring it to, like, the owl dude probably could help us with it, or the criminals, or there's probably other people that could help with it too for deciphering it. The problem comes in if he won't let go of it. We have to bring whoever we're going to have decipher it there, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you mean the town crazy dude?" And we may lose all of their belief and support just by having them see who's the one with the ledger.
Well, we seem to have found an intelligent individual in this archive keeper. So I think he's willing to have an open mind. At the very least, we can try to see if he'd help us, decode this ledger.
Yep, I think we should try that.
And before we leave, I think we ought to ask if we can locate, say, the residents or so of Sine. We can
Who's
see
been dead for 10 years.
a single person. Yes, he has a family. He may have a business. If his son took over his business, the business may still be around.
Mm-hmm. We could do an investigation check on that, I'm sure. Probably shouldn't be me.
Yeah.
Certainly can do that. The archive probably would be a good place to find more information on him.
That's why I wanted to find out information before we left.
Do your investigation, see how long it takes you to find it.
Okay. +0. Oh, wait, no, +2. And 15.
So after about 30 minutes, you're able to find the correct family section, genealogy section. You find his section, and you're able to find that he was the end of his line.
Oh,
there's
bugger.
details. There's a note there about the fact that he was betrothed to someone who had been widowed recently, or not recently, but had been widowed in the last goblin attack, and so he was going to take her and her 4-year-old son as his family, and he was actually doing fairly well for himself as a merchant. And then right before that transpired, he expired.
So, teenager, huh? Do we
It
have...
states, due to the fact that he had no heir and no living relatives, the property and all its finances were turned over to the rulership.
Let's see, surrendered to the throne. Yeah, well, it's all owned by the throne anyway in this sort of area. That makes sense. Well, I'd really hope that was going to go somewhere.
It did. You found out information on him.
We did.
He was doing fairly well for himself as a merchant.
Wow.
Was returning to town to get married and died. That's not nothing, that's something.
It is.
It's telling us it's a dead end. Let's go see if we can get the ledger, because that will tell us what our other additional options are.
It does sound like a dead end, but really curious. Did it say the woman's name?
It did. Let me grab it here.
By grab it, you mean generate it?
Copy and paste it, yes.
Well, we're pretty sure that she wasn't the one who orchestrated it, unless she wanted her. But yeah, that's not going to be. Her last husband was killed in a goblin attack, and she finally being rescued. Would not want that. I'm guessing everybody now. Darn it.
Cleok's
Let's
getting
go
a
back
little.
and get the.
Cleok's getting a little annoyed, and he proposes to the party that we go to the Shields and ask them that if there is absolutely no more goblins and no more Goblin King, can you provide us proof so we could go back to our client and say that and this is our proof that there's no more, so we get paid.
Just a second. Inside.
Man, I'm really unhappy that Rio's at the bar getting drunk.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
So
I know. I mean, you could have kind of got me when you were going to the library. Jeez, not that I would want to go to a library.
Cleok, I think you have kind of a valid point, but I have a feeling these are the kind of people who are just going to say, "That's not my problem. Go away." I mean, unless you want to pay them to give you proof, because they're certainly not like interested in bothering with people like us just to do public service.
This is not a police force; it's a private army.
I'm aware.
I don't think that'll work. If you want, we can go, but I really don't think that'll work. So, who's talking for us?
Hey, Cleok, why don't you chat with your bird buddy?
No, I mean, I think your bird friend can help us decrypt this. I think you're right. We should have done this all along. Don't know why I didn't think about it. Because I wasn't able to do it myself.
Let's go see if we can get the cipher.
All right.
From our
Back
client.
to the inn. Dun, 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 dun.
I go grab Rio before
Dun, dun, dun,
we go back
dun,
to
dun,
our
dun,
inn.
dun, dun, dun.
But I wasn't done drinking.
The coconuts aren't working today.
We're going back to the inn, and you can have more drinks there.
Oh, righto.
How much does she drink a day?
She should probably roll a con save to see if she's getting drunk again. And getting an additional, disadvantage on everything again.
She's still exhausted, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
this is a disadvantage, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Seriously? That's bad.
Exhausted and drunk. Basically get disadvantage on everything.
Awesome. Lie to me now, wench.
Was that the first roll or the second? I see a 5. I didn't see a roll again. Just a 1.
It's a 6, so I don't think it matters.
Nope.
Well, I mean, it's disadvantage.
You could have gotten
I'm pretty
a 1.
sure.
You could have gotten a 1.
Which would have made it worse?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, go
You
for
really
it. Roll
want to
again. See if you get a
1.
1. For fun kicks and giggles. You can
He rolled again
possibly
and got a
see what
7.
happens. No, I rolled that.
Oh.
Shame.
Oh.
Ha! I got a 7.
So yeah, you find Rio and she's obviously drunk. Again. Very drunk again. The only person she may be able to flirt with is the cow that she got mad at last night.
Yeah.
So the rest of you proceed back to the inn, dragging a drunk Rio along. You get there, and what do you want to do? You're back at the Inn of the Silver Blade.
Talk to a client. Is our client in there?
Yes.
Woohoo! Must be dinner time.
Well, he never eats at regular dinner time.
Right.
He doesn't like people, I guess. Excuse me.
Yes.
Could we try and decipher that cipher?
You mean the one you tried and failed already?
Yeah, we'd
That
like
one?
to take it to an
That one that
expert.
you totally failed at last time? I am
Uh-huh.
an expert. What do you want?
Okay, I want the whole thing transcribed and unciphered.
Why would you do that? You can just read it. It's easy to read it. It doesn't make sense why you
Yeah,
want to
but
change what's there.
that's what I
Just
want.
learn the language. You don't have to change the language of everything.
How soon do you want this job done?
About 3 months ago?
Yeah,
You wanted it done
really
3 months
help
ago.
us.
Yes. How long do you think it would take us to learn this?
I'm gonna say
if you're
pretty please.
asking, maybe a
Persuasion.
while. Depends on how smart you are.
Yeah, crap.
Well, yes. We're trying to expedite things and take this to an expert.
Barney.
Get it done faster.
Expert? What do you want?
He is an expert, but he's not willing to transcode it for us.
So you're going to specify to him, well, we want to take it to someone who has the excess time and willingness to transcribe it.
Well, you're really busy with your work, and I'm thinking maybe this is beneath you.
Oh, I guess. I don't know why you'd want to do that. It's boring, but here you go.
Thank you.
Bring it back.
We'll be right back. All right. We all think that our previous location's a good bet, other than Rio, who's probably asleep now on her bed.
Well, she's
Well,
probably
we're-
stumbling around the bar, thinking she should order another round, but you can ask her.
I mean, we were going to use her to find the Thieves Guild, right?
Yeah, while drunk? I don't think so.
I
Yeah.
mean, she's already found them, hasn't she?
I don't know. Are you gonna lead her to the bar or to her bed?
Rio, go get some sleep.
We're gonna lead her to the bed, not order her.
And we're going to try and get directions from her.
Like you guys could find it. It's a wall. It's a wall. That's all you gotta find. It's a wall.
Out of character, I really want to put Rio in a chokehold right now and put her to sleep.
Dude, you don't even have to do that. I can put her to sleep.
That's great. Do it.
You want to do
Okay.
it, Cookie?
Yes,
All right. Let's
that
see the
I
magic
can
happen.
do.
What's the roll to resist?
It's a save. 1 second.
You're actually attempting this.
Yes.
It's playtesting a class, so it takes a little bit.
It's actually not playtesting a class. This is in fact a spell scroll.
Actually, it doesn't matter.
You rolled a 2.
No, it doesn't matter. If I remember right, my race is immune to being put to sleep. Let me double check that.
I don't believe yours is. The one you portray yourself as is.
Well, I'm trying to remember because we kind of hacked it together from a couple of different things.
Yeah, and I thought I'd sent you info on the modified version that actually has the details, but I'm trying to remember what source you
Can I
used
have
for
a
that
D8, please? 7.
Oh, how many do you need?
Well, I need 5 of them.
It's going to end poorly.
There you go.
Oh, that's
22.
nice. 22. All right. Ryu, do you have 22 hit points?
She's got 26.
Did
Yep.
you really?
I do. I rolled pretty much max on every HP die.
Well, that does nothing.
Why am I not surprised?
Wait, you failed?
I
Well,
Rio
failed.
What
falls asleep
happened?
anyways.
By 4 points.
4 hit points.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Rio falls asleep anyways, though.
I smack him with the butt of my gun.
Okay.
Idiot!
Full on
again.
attack.
Let's
Didn't I
go.
say she's already asleep on the bed? Are you gonna wake her up? You remember what
Possibly.
happened last time someone woke me up?
You realize that Yanovan just rolled a nat 20, right?
less waking you up and more laying you down.
You know, strictly speaking, in 5e, you can always choose to knock someone out instead of killing
Yeah.
them.
When they
Yeah.
get down in hit points.
Yeah.
So Rio's going unconscious. Rio, see if you wake up to this being hit in the head.
Well, as she's like sitting down on the bed, just like right in the forehead.
I think if
Yep.
she was asleep, it's pretty obvious he wouldn't have jammed the butt of a rifle against her.
This is him failing the sleep spell when she's sitting there and just like, "Ugh, I'll get it done."
So are you actually saying that you didn't realize she was already asleep sitting up, and so you
Yes.
hit her with the...
So roll
Let's
a
see.
die with disadvantage.
For what?
Perception, just to see if you are cognitive to the fact you just got smacked, or if you sleep through it.
I think that should be a fairly low check, and so it's what perception? Yeah, 11 perception to notice this. I don't see how that could be a very high DC.
No, you notice it enough, but you can either ignore it or not. It's basically 10 to 15, you notice it, but can choose to ignore it. 15 plus, you're snapped awake because you really noticed it.
So, question on damage.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna make my decision on whether I wake her up or not, depending on how much damage she tries to do.
It's a improvised weapon.
So it'd be a D4
So,
divided
yeah.
by 2.
Yeah,
But then it's
so
not
4.
20.
Oh well, then I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'd just fall asleep. I think I'd conked my head or something.
All right, so she falls back against the bed.
See, that's how you do it, Cookie.
Yeah,
I
clearly.
dragged the other two. I dragged the two companions out of the room. Let's go.
All right.
Ryu, I sent you a message. If you can reply to it, it's kind of becoming important right now, but we'll continue the other part. So you guys head
Was
out.
it an email
Where are you going?
or was it a
No. Discord message.
Discord message? Huh? It didn't ding on me. Let me check.
So, the rest of you head out. Where are you going?
Back to the archive.
Yeah.
Okay. After a while longer, you get back to Amonlit at the archive.
Hello again, omelet.
Greetings, Gleok. How can I help you?
We have something we were wondering if you could help us with, or at least point us to somebody that would be able to help us with this.
Potentially. What is it you need?
We have in our possession a ciphered ledger. or not ledger. I don't want to call it a ledger. I want to a ciphered manuscript.
Pretty obvious what it is.
Yeah, fair enough. And we were wondering if you knew anyone who would be able to translate this for us.
Bring it out. Show it to him.
Okay, he takes it, looks it over. Interesting. Let me see here. That is that. After a bit of time, he's like, okay. Wow, that's a pretty good ledger cipher, but I don't know why you'd cipher it. Let's see here. And what are you wanting? Just, you want me to write down what the cipher is for you, or what is it you're wanting?
Can you uncipher it?
Well, I mean, I can write down what the cipher is for you, and you could decipher
Translate
it
on our own time, right?
If you want me to transcribe it into a unciphered script, that's going to take a while longer and cost more.
You can give us out of character if we do get the cipher from him.
Yeah. Okay, we have a mechanics question, DM.
How long would it take us to do?
It's going to take you quite a while, since it didn't seem like any of you are high int. It's probably going to take a little bit longer. None of you seem to be high on the scribing area of things, so legibility might be debatable. So it's probably going to take quite a bit of time, since it's not your proficiency.
So we've got 4 days for this. Is it going to take us longer than 4 days to decipher it?
Probably. I would like to pay him.
How long would it take for you to transcribe this?
I don't have any other tasks right now, so I should be able to get it done probably within the day. So if you come back tomorrow, since it's about noon, I should be able to have it done.
That would be really helpful.
How much would How much would this cost us? Or how much for your services?
I can probably do 10 gold for the whole thing.
Oh, that's incredibly reasonable. Yes, thank you.
So you guys can mark 10 gold off and come back tomorrow afternoon and you'll have a new copy. He does ask if you have a blank book you want it in, or if you need to buy a blank book.
I'll need to
We'll need to buy a blank book.
Okay, so mark off a gold if you want a nice book that'll actually last, or you can get a cheap one probably for a few silver, but it's going to look pretty scraggly, so...
let's just do the nice book. Is this coming out of your funds, Cookie? So we don't all mark off 10 gold?
Okay. So 11 gold.
Or 11?
Yep. All right, well, if it's going to take most of the afternoon, I think maybe a nap would be in order anyway.
Said by noon tomorrow, right?
He did say noon tomorrow.
Oh, right.
Because it's basically close to noon now, so he's basically saying he needs a day to get it done.
Sure. Second. So add it with Eminent.
Ryu, does the statement make sense? Or do you need me to clarify? By the way, Yonovan, roll d20.
So my laptop just died. I'm a little distracted. Sorry.
Oh, no, I understand.
4, 19.
Interesting. Roll me an animal handle check.
Yes! Oh, sorry.
7 wisdom. 14.
Yonovan's sitting there, and all of a sudden a cat appears on his lap and looks like it's asking for attention and food. Yonovan, you recognize this cat very, very well.
I give it what it wants.
You what?
He's
Very
now
cautiously.
petting the cat.
Very cautiously.
It presses up against you, purrs a bit.
Alright, I've got to find a YouTube video giving what I think Cleok's reaction would be to this.
If you were to look at Jonathan, he looks very nervous.
John, Cookie, do you have that picture I sent you of the dwarf?
Yes.
Can you send that
Let
to
me
to
get that.
Yonovan? He needs to see that.
Let me get that.
And Ryu, whenever you're able, just reply. It's an interesting choice, but I want you to be able to make it, because there's a few different ways something can go shortly. All right, so what do the rest of you want to do?
So the stuff that's happening in the video I posted is what I anticipate what Cleok does when he sees Jonathan's cat in his lap being pet. It's a little bit long, but you can get the gist of it. Anyway, we got the rest of the day. At the very least, we can go back to the shields and say we want to bash some goblin skulls and see what they say. It's
I know this is not the one you meant.
so like gore blimey!
Okay, so you're going to head and do what? Where? When?
So we have the rest of the day to go.
Oh, I was saying the picture with the dwarf.
Yeah, I couldn't find that.
Oh, okay. But that's a funny one, too.
The cat's just like recoiling.
Don't be that guy.
All right, so what are you saying, Cleok? Back on topic.
So we have the rest of the day to go.
Mm-hmm.
We probably want to get the ledger done, but we can at least go back to the shields and say, just be forthright and say we want to bash some goblins' heads in. Well, actually, I don't know if Cleok could want to do that. Seems kind of dumb in hindsight.
Okay. Knowledge check, Cleok. How easy is it for you to go 25 miles in a day?
In a day?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look up like Eric Cocker like traits.
Yeah, you have to look it up, but we would have a basic knowledge of it. I mean, people can like walk 10 miles. I wouldn't imagine you can go much further than 10 or 20 miles in a
I
day.
believe it's your speed divided by 10 miles per hour, I think.
That's close enough. Yeah.
And then you can do 8 hours a day without pushing too much.
Yeah, so we could go 12 miles out and 12 miles back.
My fly
That's
speed
our
is
most.
my fly speed is currently 60. So I could go what 6 fly speed divided or
Yes.
feet divided by 10, and that'd be my miles per hour.
You could go 24 miles and come 24 miles back in a day, but the rest of us can't. I don't think we should launch an assault unless we're ready to like commit several days to it. And I don't feel that ready.
I guess I could go scouting out east and see if I see anything.
If you feel like it.
I don't know if I have anything better to do.
It's up to you guys.
The cipher's a good idea. We've made solid progress on that. I'm sure that's something important. The goblin location is probably not going to be close, and so I'm not really sure that's viable in a situation where we have to come back tomorrow for the cipher, you know. We can investigate around for Cine to see if anyone still knows about him. But that's probably an end, or Ryu's drunk and she'll have to sleep it off.
Cleoc thinks we're going to get nowhere at continuing to talk to people, so I think Cleoc actually will go out and scout to the east and come back at the end of the day.
Are there any stables nearby?
There are some stables in town, yes.
Cleoc, what do you think about this? We could go and hire some horses for the day and take a ride out. We could keep up with your speed if we're on horse.
We're not looking to engage, especially if we're leaving Rio at the end.
Right. Well, just, you know, going for a ride in the country, right? Unless you want to just head out by yourself, which is fine. My player's a bit in need of a nap.
I think Cleoc would prefer to go out by himself, at least this time, to at
Okay.
least get a better look at the lay of the land, because even on a horse, you might not be able to keep up with him depending on the terrain.
Sure. Well, Cleoc's gonna go. Yonovan, that just leaves you. What do you think?
Yonovan and Cookie, what are you doing? Cleoc, you can roll a perception check or more if you want. Basically, do you want to do it in increments or you want to do one for the trip?
Let's do increments.
Okay, then do 4 of them.
4.
I mean, I'm against splitting the party, but he can do something we can't.
Yeah, he can. That's right.
Honestly, I think we need to wait for Rio to sober up. Just let her sleep the night, and we go to the Thieves Guild in the morning and get this deciphered. We're not going to find it on our own, and we need her for the introduction.
So you think that having the Thieves Guild investigate where the cipher comes from is an angle of attack you want to pursue?
It is. I think we've been blown off by the shield
that-
too much.
Is that the second one, Cleoc?
Either they don't believe us, or
That's
they're
the 4th,
involved.
That's
actually.
the 4th. Okay. Do you remember what each was? Just trying to
Yes.
multitask. Okay.
Okay.
First one was 23. That was a nat 20.
Yeah.
Second one was 15. Third one was 18. Fourth one was 17.
Okay. Those are all enough that you are able to see numerous remnants of battle as you go. What's your
Do
full
they
distance?
look recent?
No.
Full distance
Like
is
your speed is what?
60 flight. 60 flying. So that'd be 6 miles per hour.
Times 8, 48.
So 8 hours would be 48 miles. If I was going to go out
One direction.
and fly the entire time and be super sore in the morning. Or-
If you travel any beyond 8 hours, you have to
Yeah.
roll a con check. So you probably only would want to go 4.
Yeah.
Towards the end, you are able to see kind of remnants of a pretty massive battle. Definitely is old. You see a lot of small skeletons that have been picked clean. And that was about the range, if you remember, that you were told it happened at. The first thing you see heading out of town, though, is the Baron's Manor, because you fly kind of close enough that you can get a view of how defensible it is, not so much that you look like a threat. And you see there is plenty of nice glinting, moving objects moving around the courtyard.
What was that? I missed him.
Glinting, moving objects.
Glinting moving objects.
Things that have metal and are moving. Quite a few of them.
Can I take a closer look and tell what they are?
Probably people moving around in armor is what I'm giving you the indication.
Okay. People moving around in armor.
Heavy armor, full armor. A lot of the shields have light to medium armor. These guys seem to be full armor. And then you were able to find a number of combat zones in the other 3 areas, and then the final one that you see was the big one that you heard mention of. And it does seem to be a bit more sizable than the others, but not exponentially so.
Okay. And none of the battlefields look.
No, none of them look recent.
And I saw a group of people in heavy armor that were basically rolling.
Patrolling the Baron's area heavily. All right, Cookie and Yonovan, back to you guys for this time period where Kleok is exploring. He gets back fairly late at night. So, what all are you two doing during that time?
Give me a second. I'm writing down what you.
Okay. Yonovan?
We're gonna eat dinner here and wait for Rio to sober up.
Okay. I didn't know if you were doing anything from lunch till dinner.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could go to the room and make sure my gun's in functional order. I'm not sure if I've done that yet or not.
I don't think you had.
Alright, so I can do a tinker check and make sure I get the trigger mechanism working.
Okay.
How many rolls you want me to do?
Yeah, just do one. It's not a full day, so.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get some more materials.
Crumble.
I think you got one of the two that you're trying to put together on the ship, and then you're trying to get the second one, if I remember correctly. So you have one basic one, and then you're trying to get the second one.
I don't remember.
I think that's what it was.
I think I just gotten the designs. I don't think I even finished the trigger on my. I don't think I'm a trigger finish on my primary yet.
Okay.
I think I have materials to make 2 more.
You had enough
But I
materials
don't
to make
have-
2. You're given 2 good barrels. And I thought you had finished
Okay.
1, and you hadn't been able to finish the other.
No,
I can't
I
remember.
haven't. I finished. I got 190%. I don't have a trigger mechanism working.
Okay,
We kept doing other stuff and weren't involved in combat.
right.
So I've got a hand axe right now. And a gun that would be a +1 once I finish it.
Yeah, that would be a priority for you to work on.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't quite get it. If you're going to do that tomorrow morning, we can let you roll another time now if you want.
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow morning.
Since you guys said you're going to wait for the cipher.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for Rio to sober up so we can.
We're going to wait for Rio to sober up, and we are not going to allow her to drink anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
Go ahead and roll again, Yonovan, then, and see what you get.
come on. That's
Yay! You're able to
+6.
repair your botched damage and get a working one now. And now you can
Alright.
actually use that upgraded
+1.
class and actually start doing some modifications as well.
Yep.
Cookie, what are you doing this half day?
I don't like the idea of wasting time.
Neither do I, but I think we'd waste more time and potentially make things worse off.
Well, that's why I'm letting you guys do basically some
Cleox.
sort of activity for the day.
Yeah,
And I didn't waste it. I worked on my gun.
I would attempt to figure out if there's a way to I already know the answer, but I would study if there's a way to remove
Curses.
drunkenness.
Uh,
Is there a cure for alcohol?
Hmm.
You know, I've never seen magic attempt to cure alcohol before. I wonder.
You know, it'd be great if you found a way to make her not like alcohol anymore.
We'll just see
going
what
to-
kind of knowledge and progress you're able to do.
That's like an 11.
You get the idea that some way you could probably do it, but it's going to require some more study.
Yeah.
Can you use prestidigitations to make things taste bad?
I can't do that anymore.
Oh.
But that's
You
a
can.
brilliant idea. I've got something else though.
A bittering agent.
Yeah. You know,
Um,
if I just add a little bit of this alum powder, dissolves right in.
So, Ryu, your thoughts on that?
Rio's out cold.
I know, but I've messaged.
Oh, on the other thing.
Yeah. It's purely up to you. It's very kind of game appropriate for some of what's transpired to be done. However, I can make it work the other way too. It's just I need to know.
Yeah. Right now, I'd guess probably the other way, but let me know when it's a little bit closer. See if things change, because I assume tomorrow or the next day in game, whenever, we're going to do some more interesting things.
I would
So-
be technically tonight.
It would be tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say let's just leave the status quo for now. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make sure that Ryu doesn't get plastered drunk anymore.
Oh, that's not the issue. It's really not
Oh,
the
I know.
issue. It's something much, much, much different. So I just needed to know. So, if that is the case, then I will say what happens in a message to you so you can play it correctly. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just think about it and give me a confirmation. I'm going to run everyone else's morning events, and then that way you have that time to kind of decide. All right, so Cleoc, your adventures, you get back late at night, you get your sleep, you wake up in the morning, you probably briefed the others last night, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the three of you wake up. What are you doing for the beginning of the morning? You see, actually, yeah, Yanovan already did. He goes off and gets his gun working. You hear him practicing outside of town a little ways. And then...
You hear cursing, and then, yes!
There you go.
Well, I would want to first thing see to Ryu and make sure that alcohol. I would actually go to the bartender and ask him to deny my friend alcohol and slip him a gold piece.
Certainly. She seems like she probably should avoid it for a while anyways.
I thought you were going to order him some chicken wing, because that's the common cure for a hangover, right?
Do you have a cure for a hangover too? That'd be great.
No, just being smart and not drowning yourself. I mean, I got some strong black liquid that a lot of people take to help a little bit.
I'll have one of those. We'll see if it helps.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Roll a con save. It's more
Who?
testing you. It's more seeing how much it
Okay.
does or doesn't affect you, how much you notice.
Ah. Ouch. 4.
Yeah, you feel buzzed. You feel like you want to call yourself hammy.
It's not for me, it's for Ryu. I want to drink it.
I thought you said you were going to try one.
No, I'll take one.
Oh, take one. Okay.
Sorry. I thought, like, is the whiff making me drunk?
Well,
What?
you drank one and
I know
got
it's
a second one for her. Or not.
You know what? I might do
Unclear
that,
pronouns.
Actually, I would probably want to try it.
Your eyes are opened and the world is delightful.
I could get so much done.
Oh boy, a new addiction's formed.
Alright, Cleoc, what are you doing during this? You see Cookie all of a sudden drink something up at the bar and seemed like he just had a explosion of energy and alertness.
Cock my head to the side and ask Cookie what's going on.
This is supposed to maybe help cure a hangover. Yeah, this is supposed to maybe help cure a hangover. And I am talking really fast. Let's go.
Go where?
Wake up Ryu. Make sure Ryu does not drink anymore.
Go everywhere. Woo!
As he's going up the stairs, I grab him by the shoulder, and I want to look into his eyes. I want to do a medicine check to see if
To a medicine
Go for it.
check. That's a great call.
15.
Math, the perfect cure for a hangover.
You're able to determine that it seems to be kind of like a herbal effect of stimuli, which you'd heard some of the traders who go far
my
to
God,
the
it's coffee.
east had a different herb that had a similar effect.
It's not poison, but it's definitely affecting me. But that's okay. Maybe it'll do something to Ryu.
You know, where I came from, we had a drink like that as well, and I would have to recommend you not drink any more of it.
Yeah, I think I had enough. Thank you.
I wouldn't give it to Rio either.
Ryu seems to have immunities to much changing.
That stuff is
Probably will have less
horrible
effect
and
on
nasty, and I have known people who have gotten addicted to it and claim it is the best drink ever.
Uh,
I'm
Hey.
letting too much of my out of character get in. I'm derailing this. Go on.
actually, I'm going to do an insight check as to whether you really mean that. I don't believe you mean it. So I'm going to keep on serving the coffee.
You're going to serve him the coffee?
I am.
All right. Cleoc, are you just going to go back and enjoy your breakfast, or is there anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna have a deep sigh, and then go downstairs and have breakfast that does not have the nasty black liquid.
Okay.
Go up and see Ryu. Has she been sleeping this whole time?
Rio is no longer in her bed.
Or is she
Dun,
not
dun,
there?
dun.
Ryu, I need you to roll a int save.
Okay. Well, I'm either gonna have to do this
P
with
skill
physical.
come for Ryu.
I'm rolling a dice for Rio since he's no longer here.
Yeah, my computer. It came back and then it died. It's like it's not charging properly.
10 on die.
For int save,
Yes.
am I still at disadvantage on the saves or not?
No.
Okay, it's an 11 for an int save.
All right.
I love how that roll is perfectly neutral and all up to his character's.
It was on 18, and then it just at the last little bit just tipped over to a 10.
But that's perfect. I mean, either his positives or his mods are what makes or breaks it.
All right, so Cookie, you go in the room and give Ryu the cup of coffee. Ryu?
I drink the coffee,
Go on.
and then I strangely look like somebody else, and then somebody else, and then it comes back and my hair is purple. Whoa, what was that? Oh.
Has Ryu ever transformed in our viewing before?
She turned kind of blankish once.
I haven't. Cleoc hasn't seen it, but if I remember right, when the little girl nuked her,
Yeah.
she lost her form for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh. Are you doing all right?
I'm really good. This stuff is great. Who are you?
My name's Cookie.
Nice to meet you, Cookie. What are you doing in this room? I assume it's mine.
Do you know your name?
Maybe? I don't know. Oh, is it Ryu?
Yes.
Okay, I do know my name. Wow, that stuff was really good, but man, I got a headache.
Well, you had a hangover and then got drunk after we woke you up from your hangover.
Oh, Cookie.
And now you're like this. So I'll let you be.
I want a
For
perception
now.
check.
Perception check. All right.
It's on the boat.
Where's that dice? Eight.
Okay. You felt a weird chill on your back of your neck, and you're not sure why, because the room should be fairly warm. Ryu, You look around and notice your window's open.
I don't remember leaving that open. Wait, I don't remember going to bed, so I guess I don't know what I remember.
Oh boy.
Huh. Yeah, we didn't leave the window open.
I remember I must obey. Name redacted here. What? No, I don't remember anything.
Oh boy. You know, when we first met you, you had amnesia. Is anything different now?
Well, if I could remember, I'd tell you.
Do you remember where you are?
I appear to be in a room.
Yes. So, do you remember anything about the group you're with?
Is it a performing group?
Oh boy. I realize that it's probably a little bit confusing to be you, but to be frank, it's a little bit confusing to be us with you as well. Would you have any questions for me? I could help you answer them.
Sure. How can you help me answer them?
Well, that means you don't have any questions, because otherwise you would understand how I could help answer them.
No, I just
Very
don't know
well.
how you could help answer any questions. I mean, I guess you could tell me where we are. What is this place?
Okay. So, you and me have been traveling throughout the universe on a ship that flies through something. And we're just on a mission trying to uncover some plot of goblins or something. And so you're at an inn.
Okay, all right. You know, when you said goblins, I got kind of angry. So I'm guessing I have something against goblins, maybe.
Huh.
Well, you seem fairly trustworthy.
All right. Wow.
So what else can you tell me about me?
About you? Well,
You're kind of a dick.
Yadavan, you're not there. You're working on your gun.
You've been...
Cookie's there by himself because even Cleoc chose to stay downstairs.
You're generally lazy, and you like to get drunk, apparently. I already said generally lazy. That's a pretty common trait, honestly. You really like combat. Using your swords. And you've been an elf, but you're a shapeshifter. You're not really an elf. And you had amnesia, so you don't really know where you came from. We first found you.
Wait, I have amnesia or I had amnesia? I'm really confused here.
Yes.
So
I got amnesia a second time? Oh.
Yes, you've got amnesia a second time, which is really troubling.
Can I have Cleoc show up to this?
Sure, Cookie's been gone for a while. So
Exactly.
You'd be suspicious, and yeah, you come up, you hear him talking to Ryu as he just was.
So, what's taking you guys so long? It's like,
Hey, it's a bird!
who are you?
I think I'm Rio, and who are you?
This is a joke, right?
No.
What's a joke?
He has amnesia again. He doesn't remember me.
Is
or
it
where
a he
we
or
are.
a she?
She.
No.
She.
Well,
There's no she.
might have been he for a second there, but no, she's back to she.
This is
And
Cleoc.
it's a purple-haired elf. I told you to not give her the drink.
Well, what about the drink? It makes me feel really good. I like it.
The bartender gave it to me. I don't know what it's called, but it was supposed to be maybe a cure for being drunk.
Ah,
I
oh,
think he was this way before the drink. But he's just now more excited. She was this way. Sorry.
Don't worry.
I would
Don't
knock
worry.
his false head off, but it would be really bad.
Averna gets it as well.
Well, that's awkward. So, you've been part of a group, but if you can't remember the group, I don't know why you would want to stay part of the group.
Well, this place is kind of drab, and I assume I've got some money, but I mean, this place looks boring.
Yeah, you've been saying
Silly.
it's been boring.
Silly question, kind of out of character. Script. It's for a specific person?
Yes.
So
I assume it still works even if you lose a memory.
You'll find out.
Is there any indication on the script that shows who it belongs to and whether it's still active for that person?
You were told there is, but you don't know what it is because that wasn't what you got into with them.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know if I would know enough to ask that question, which I don't.
You may now. You didn't at the time.
In character, I don't know if I would.
Right. In character, you didn't ask when you guys got script, but you did find out it's keep to you.
Okay. So, So let me take a deep breath because this is kind of weird for me. You're still Rio, right?
Yes, but who's Rio? I mean, like, what do you mean by still?
And all right, so I'm going to try and quickly give a short version of the last 6 months because that's how long we've been together.
Yup.
And so
Is Jonathan gonna come check on us?
Nope. Jonathan's working on his gun.
Ah, darn it.
So
Wait,
I
wait,
try
wait.
and give.
Did you say those words?
No, sorry, that was me out of character.
Okay, thank you.
I was going to have her instinctively shoot a magic missile at Jonathan when he showed up.
So
But you're gonna tell me everything, so I'll know it, and I won't shoot him.
So I'm going to give a quick rundown about how we met, how we were all taken as prisoners on a ship, how we were kind of conscripted into its service, how we have gone on a couple of adventures, fought a few battles, and
Yeah, goblins. Goblins almost killed us once, twice.
describe the people we've worked with, and finally go into details on our current mission and objective.
Wait. The people on the ship kidnapped us all, and then we just decided to work for them? Man, we must have been really screwed up.
Think of it as the illusion of free choice, because
Hard up is more like it.
Because the other option would be that we would be sold off into slavery and potentially eaten and killed.
Okay, so we're in slavery, but we're not eaten killed. Okay, I guess that's a little bit better.
It's more indentured servitude kind of at this point, but we actually have been gaining a fair amount of money as well.
Oh, good. I was afraid I was broke.
Well, you've been trying to make yourself broke by drinking it.
So let me explain how this works, since you may not remember this now. And Cleoc pulls out his script and says, and this is a script you should have somewhere in your pockets, a bill that looks a lot like this.
Oh, look, it's a tenner.
Which I suppose they're... So you should be able to redeem this as currency in order to be able to buy things.
Okay, well, I've got some normal gold here too, just in case. So I should be fine.
You know what normal gold is. That's good.
Oh, well, I guess. I mean, I know what an inn is too. So I think I know what food is. Hey, Cookie, do you cook?
I do. Someone finally gets that.
Hey, you smelled like you cook.
Oh, and since we're all here and starting out, you not allowed to drink, or I will not cook for you, and you have to cook all your own meals. And since I know you're too lazy to do that, you'll do what I say.
Not
But I'm
allowed to
your
drink
friend.
ever?
Limited. Just we keep like
By-
dropping
by-
you off at a bar and you get drunk.
But by drink,
okay.
by drink, he means alcoholic beverages. You can have stuff like water, and we don't want you to die of dehydration or anything like that.
That's good, but you said I'm a shapeshifter. How do you know I need the drink? I probably do. Actually, I'm a little thirsty now. You got any more of that black stuff?
No.
Oh, darn. Is there any water around here? Oh, look, I got a...
Do I need to roll percept or deception to say that there's no more of that black stuff?
No, she believes you.
I was going to say it's up to her because she's currently there. There's a cup that's empty, so if there's more or not, may just simply be here, not necessarily downstairs.
She just believes him anyways. She looks around, she sees a water skin. And, yeah, that's better. Hey, what's this clay jug over here? Ooh, that's the good stuff.
Ryu, stop.
Oh, sorry. No, yeah, food, right, sorry. I didn't know what was in there.
This is destructive to you, and you should not be drinking it.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. I hope you had some fun tonight. We'll pick up getting
I
your...
pull Cookie aside just for a second and just give him a look.
And what look is that?
It just kind of shake my head and say, it just kind of one of those is like, this is really happening kind of looks, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, gentlemen. We'll pick up next week where you guys go back and get your tome. All right?
All right.
Sounds great.
All
Been a
right.
blast.
It has. It's been great.
This is a good one.
This is a good one.